How do you feel about what's going to happen tomorrow?
Nervous, I suppose, like everybody else, wondering what's going to happen. And hopeful at the same time. I mean, they must have found something. I mean, they've got all Kevin's evidence, and that's corrupt, so they know what's gone on in Kevin's case, and they must have found something. And it's sounding very hopeful. They're not giving anything away, but they're sounding like they're going to look after us properly, and they're protecting us from the press, and they're letting us see everything first. So I think there is something there.
What dealings have you had with them? Have you been asked to submit your evidence to them?
Yes, I've submitted Kevin's, and they've come and taken documents out of my cupboard. Because I had all sorts of bits and bobs. Even though when I had the debate, and they knew a lot that went in then, about Kevin's, but I had sort of other documents that were all like little bits, but all fitted in with the big picture. Of things that had gone wrong in his inquests, and they've taken all that as well. So I think they've got mostly everything on Kevin now.
And how do you feel they've gone about the task that's been asked of them?
I don't know how they've coped, to be honest with you. I know I've got a cupboard full of documents there, and my filing, but 400,000 documents. I just don't know how. I mean, I know they've had archivists, but it must have been a really big task, to go through it all. I'm just hoping that the like the police and the coroner's office and wherever they're asking, that they've sent the documents and they've not been destroyed or hidden. Because this is why we've never seen them before. So
how confident are you that they have been given everything and that things haven't been held back?
I'm not, because I can remember the Lord Justice Stuart Smith's scrutiny, and the Home Office had told the South Yorkshire Police to give us all our body files on our children. And one of the families raised it in the meeting before the judge started his scrutiny. And he said, "How do you know we've got everything?" And he said, "I can assure you, you've got everything on your child." Now, after the scrutiny, and it was a stitch-up, I'd sort of taken my body file apart to use statements and that. So a couple of years later, when I was going into the European courts, I thought I'll ask them for a new body file. And when I got the new body file, I got a statement and 3 photographs I'd never seen. So I'm living proof that, I didn't get all Kevin's evidence for the scrutiny. So how much have they held back from the other families? And I can always remember thinking that, what was it? Well, it wasn't a proper scrutiny, it was another stitch-up.
No matter what comes out tomorrow, though, you do still have plans to go back to the Attorney General with a new memorial?
This is what he said I can do. I'll be straight at the lawyers with the report, perhaps Friday, and then get the barrister onto it and get the draft done and submit it as soon as possible. He said under Section 13 of the Coroner's Act, if the evidence is there, you'll send it back to the divisional courts, recommending a new inquest. Well, the evidence is there, and it's always been there. So I'll be giving everything he asked. He's asking for and more, really. Kevin's inquests were empty, and he's got to have a new inquest.
And just finally, a little bit about the support that you've had from the people of Merseyside and the people involved in your case down the years. It shows that people believe in the cause and will not give up on this.
I've had barristers that waived fees. Edward Fitzgerald, QC, even did my draft free to go into the European courts. He's done the drafts for the Attorney General. Alan Jones, QC, has done the drafts for the Attorney General free. All the forensic pathologists reports I've had, and all the meetings I've had, because I spent hours down in Guy's discussing Kevin's injuries, and they've all waived. I spent hours and hours with Dr. Ian West, who probably charged like £600 an hour. He was the top guy. They never charged me a penny. And it's through these people that I've been able to go through the system, because I couldn't have done it without their... I'm indebted to them. I could not have done it without their... because I had no money, without them waiving fees. And then Sir Richard Branson had given me free train travel as well. So when I wanted to go to London, I used to just ask for the tickets to go and see the barrister, and I could go backwards and forwards to London. It wouldn't cost me nothing, and the barrister was pro bono, and because I'm only on the sick, and that's how I managed to do it. And like I say, I'm indebted to these people, but I always think, they believed in me, and and they did keep me going, because I knew they believed in me anyway, and they were always honest with me. You won't get your inquest. I didn't, because it could open the floodgates. But this is the first time, like, I'm not dealing with the barrister at the moment, and you know, I've started a little group, and this is the first time, sort of, you know, I'm submitting again, you know, with a different barrister, and you know, I'm pretty hopeful after the debate, but I don't want to bring my hopes up too high because you know, I've been knocked back that many times, and I'm tired now, tired of Hillsborough. I really feel as if I need a break from it. But I suppose I think it's all this hype for this, the panel. Because, you know, we thought it was spring, obviously. I mean, they weren't ready, but, you know, it's not their fault. But you're hyping up for spring, and then we're getting told it's autumn. And, you know, we're thinking after Christmas, so it won't be long. And then spring came and thought, we won't be long to autumn, and before you know it, it's here. But it's been it's like this waiting for nearly 3 years. You know.
Well, let's hope it's worth waiting for.
Yes, I do, and I hope, you know, that they give us some justice and help us, you know, to be able to. We'll never forget Hillsborough, but living without it will make a difference to our lives, and the kids, you know, that died can rest in peace, and perhaps clear the survivors, because the documentaries are clearing our survivors now. Anyway, Colin Mackenzie's a disgrace. You know, and he gets away with it, and he's got away with it for all these years, and I can't understand why. Who's protecting him? Because it makes you like this. It makes you very, very cautious and very, playing them at their own game. You think, you know, well, they did that to us, so, you know, they're going to do this again. Because you learn by them, because they've stitched us up that many times, and you know what the system can do. You know, but I think now it's time. I'm glad we've all carried on, you know, the 3 groups, because I think if we got tired and gone away and never kept fighting, that's what they wanted. And even if it's 23 years, you can say, oh well, you know, we did it after 23 years, and we didn't, you know, and you know, and I think they know that too. If it takes another 20 years, I'm not going to go away.